I feel awkward doing it with you. You'll still be able to hear though. Made it all the way to Spain and we're now going on our first day out. Just checking how much I read on the flight because when I started reading, I read 507. I started at 569 and I've got all the way through to 685. I read 116 pages on the flight over here, but I didn't really get to read yesterday because we were so busy. We were doing so much. But today we're trying to like organize a car while we're here, just to explore the little town that we're in. So I'll get some videos of that, but I don't know how much reading I'll get done today. But it's so pretty here. But yeah, I'm gonna go down, eat some breakfast, and I'm gonna continue reading Queen of Shadows. I'm at 80% and I really want to get this done, but I feel like if I keep reading this, that's all I'm gonna read this holiday. But I've also brought 2 physical books. I brought Elsie Silver new book Wild Love, and I also bought Not in Love Ali Hazelwood, which is also her new book coming out, and I want to read both of them, but I just don't know if we're going to have that sort of relaxing holiday. I feel like it's going to be more of like an exploring holiday. We'll just have to see how it all goes.
It's warm, eh?
How beautiful this place is. I can't get over it. From laying down at the pool. I'm already sunburned. I don't want to talk about it. I hate being sunburned. It makes me want to cry. We got into Spain yesterday at about like 9 p.m. and we've went and had dinner. Just explored like the little space that we're in, but it's like a really small town. I think it's a lot of locals, and because it's not really peak season right now, it's not that busy. Been pretty relaxed. And then today we've just laid by the pool. The boys are downstairs listening to music. On the plane I read on my Kindle, I was reading Queen of Shadows. I believe I read about 116 pages. I just kept getting distracted in conversation. I think that's just like part of being on a holiday. Some days are just like hanging out with friends. We're, you know, having a slow day, but we're also just catching up and, you know, having conversations. I got up to page 17 so far of Wild Love, which is what I started today. I was going to continue on with Queen of Shadows because I am only 80% in, but I feel like I'm on a holiday and I really want the coastal fun romance small town vibes, and because I'm sort of like in a small little covey town in the middle of Ibiza, I wanted to read this. But it's just Elsie Silver. We know what Elsie Silver's like. I'm at chapter 2 and I've just met Ford Grant, who's the main character, and now I've met Rosie. I'm halfway through Rosie's chapter. Rosie is currently going through a lot of things that we do as women, dealing with office men and being in an office environment, and men thinking that they're better than us, thinking that they can control us and do what they want to us because they're above us. I want to punch a few of these men in the book straight in the throat. Ford Grant is just like your typical grumpy billionaire. I'm not a massive fan of the billionaire trope, but so far I'm really liking Ford as like a character. He's not really like, oh, I've got all this money, like he doesn't really care about the money. Sometimes I feel like the billionaire trope is just like a little bit irrelevant for me. I'd rather just read about a generic person. So far it's good. I'm enjoying it. 17 pages in for today, and it is technically my first full day of the holiday. I'll check in with you either later this afternoon, because it is about 3 o'clock right now, or I'll check in with you tomorrow. But I'll still vlog everything I'm doing on the holiday so you can see little bits of everything. yesterday, but today I read up to chapter 8. Got up to page 69. It is like 5:30 now, we're going out for dinner. Probably gonna read when I get back anyway, so I may read more. So far I'm really liking it. We've met the daughter. We've also met Rosalie and Ford, and she's just asked Ford to work for her, and now she's become his assistant and technically like helping him look after his new daughter that he's met. Got the best friend's younger sister forbiddenness, so I'm excited to keep reading. Oh, and it's Grumpy Sunshine with lots of banter. She's not really like sunshine though, so he's just grumpy. But anyway. Still with her boyfriend who lives in a different state, but she's been living with her boyfriend and he like owns everything, so she's now gone back home because she's not been feeling the connection between their relationship. They were initially roommates, they fell in love, and then now they're sort of feeling like they're going back to being roommates again, not really having that like emotional and physical connection that they used to have. I don't know, I'm just a bit worried that like there's going to be like emotional cheating in this, so I really hope that there isn't, even though I know that they're like technically, you know, not really together. But I just really hope that Elsie does this, you know, tastefully. And yeah, like right now we're at chapter 8 and she's already having conversations back with her current boyfriend. So yesterday I read a total of 95 pages, and today I've read from 112 to 182 pages. I haven't really added the math yet, but I'm probably going to read some more now, and maybe tonight.
We'll see, depending on how drunk I get, because we are going out into Old Town like we did the previous night, and we're going to have drinks there and may have like a nice dinner. So we'll see. Today we've just been beach hopping, driving around the island. It's been so nice. Ford has just given her 100 grand for just signing up to work with him. Are you kidding me? Like that's like one small thing about the billionaire romance that is so good. I don't know, I just think that the tension's really well done in here. I'm really enjoying it. I think the relationship dynamic between the daughter and Ford doesn't seem 100% like genuine and like, I don't know, like not genuine, that's probably not the right word, I don't know, it just feels a bit weird because this dynamic's a bit different. Her brother's not really a big character in this. I thought he'd be more in here. West, he has that, like the first couple of chapters he was, but he's not been in it since. We're slowly now getting like the workplace romance. There's like emails being sent back and forth between them and they're quite funny. I do find the banter there good, and I do love like love notes and emails and stuff like that, so I'm hoping that maybe that will be tied in at the end. So far the daughter's relationship, like I don't know, like she's, the reason that she's going to see and meet up with him just seems odd, but like how the whole scenario is played out, I don't know yet. I'm just, yeah, I don't know, that's like the only thing that's weird for me, but other than that, I'm enjoying it.
Why do I look so crazy? I'm at chapter 32. We just had a spice scene. Page 310. I fucked up. I didn't write down what page I finished on last night, and then I went straight into reading this morning and I just kept reading through. But I have some issues with the book. Paining me to say this because she is my favourite author, but there are some problems. Problem number one, I feel like the relationship with the kid, what's her name again? Cora? Yeah, Cora. I feel like it's like a side thing and it's not really like a prominent relationship the way that it's been introduced, and then it's just sort of like being forgotten and then brought back in again randomly. I don't think that's organically happening, if that makes sense. And then now with Rosie and like her inner dialogue, there's been multiple times where she's hanging out with Ford and Cora where maybe like they're having a special moment and she's watching from the side, but then in her head she'll be thinking something very inappropriate that she shouldn't be thinking, and I'm like, this is a father-daughter moment. Like I don't think that's like, that wouldn't be like my first thought when I'm like looking at that situation to think like that. Anyway, there's been twice that she's done that. I don't know, I just find it weird. Anyway, and then also Ford is really annoying me. Like this really hurts me to say this, I'm actually very upset. Ford's annoying me because he is just like using the work thing now as like his excuse for not being with her, but I'm like, yeah, but you've wanted her since like high school. I don't know, I just find it now like to be like annoying because like that's the only plot driving them not to be together, and we've still got this much left of the book. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. Anyway, I'm gonna try and finish this tonight because I do have, oh, maybe not, it's 140 pages. I will see. I gotta pack, which is what I'm doing right now, and then once I finish packing I'm gonna continue reading. But yeah, those are my current thoughts at the moment. I am excited more for West, his book. I think that's book 2 because it's going to be a friends to lovers, and I think his character being so like sweet and vulnerable is very appealing to me. I'm craving a book like that from Elsie. So yeah, I feel like I got water damage on my book. This is so annoying. It's all like wrinkly. This is what happens when you take it to a beach and it's all the salt air. But today we've only hung out very locally, and then at our pool just down the road, but I didn't even film anything because I was tanning and then reading. Got a little sunburn. as you can tell, I am back home. I finally unpacked. I've had like a day or two to sort of settle and get my bearings again, do all my washing. But I thought I would just run through my entire week and how many pages I read completely for each day, just because I didn't quite clarify every single day completely now when I've gone back and edited it today. And then I'll give you a bit of a rundown of my thoughts for both the books I read. So day one, I read Queen of Shadows, which I did start at page 569 through to 685, which was a total of 116 pages on the plane travel day. I was quite busy throughout the entire morning, so there was just really no time besides when I was on the physical plane. Day two was my worst day for reading. I only read 17 pages of Wild Love. This was the first day when we were just sort of exploring, getting our bearings. I mean, I started. Day three, I again read Wild Love. I was from page 17 through to 112, which was a total of 95 pages. Day four, Wild Love, which was page 112 start, but I didn't actually record what page I finished on. It wasn't until the end of day five, which I recorded, that it was at 320 by the end of the day. So it was about 208 pages across those 2 days. The last and final day, which was day six, again another travel day. This was my best day on the holiday for reading. It was Wild Love. I started at page 320 and finished the book at 452, which I read that all in the morning. It was a total of 132 pages completed that morning. And then on the plane and in the airport, I finished the Queen of Shadows book, which I had downloaded on my Kindle. That was from page 685 to 855, which was a total of 170 pages, and for that entire travel day was 302 pages, and I think that was pretty good. But I mean, on travel days usually I am more of a reader, and I think because our morning was a lot more relaxed that day when we were traveling, it was just easier for me to read for the entire week, which I think was really great because I didn't actually put pressure on myself to be reading every single day. I just thought if I was at the beach or if I had my book wherever I was and I had just a quiet moment that was to myself, I just read. But besides that, I was literally doing everything with everyone. Like, I didn't restrict myself in any way the holiday to try and focus on the reading. So this was me just leisurely reading. You get what I mean. I don't know why I'm trying to explain this. Like, it's not like it's a hard concept to understand. I wasn't restricting myself. But yeah, I got to a total of 738 pages for the entire week, and I think that that was so good. Very happy with the amount of pages that I did. Now, going through with my review, I'm going to start with Queen of Shadows book, just because I've got so many good things to say about it. I am obsessed with this series. This book solidified that obsession even more. I believe, was it Aerify? Aerify was the book last time that I started to realize that I was getting that obsession, but now I'm fully devoted to all of these characters in a way that I feel like they are becoming like a little bit of part of me, like this sort of family in a way. I have so much love and adoration for like everything that they're doing and who they're becoming and how like far they've come from the very first book. Like I feel like because I've spread it out over so many months, I think I started this in December, slowly leisurely reading it, like savoring this experience, which I'm so glad that I am, and not rushing to have it all done in one go. Definitely gonna give this a 5-star. Like, I have that 5-star feeling the entire time. I can't even miss like a single word. Like, usually, like, if I'm not that interested in a book, I will, you know, skip certain things if I'm like, oh, this is getting repetitive or whatever. That there is no moment like that within these books. They're so fast paced. There's so much going on. The most fun adventure I've been on. I've now got the tandem read next, and I'm petrified, but I'm going to do it. I'm obsessed. That's a 5-star read, without a doubt. I think last time we spoke when I was editing, I had mentioned some of the issues that I was having with Wild Love, and now that I've sat on it and I finished the book and had some time, so I'm going to go through what I liked about this book firstly, because what I did love was Elsie Silver's just general writing. Like, I am obsessed with her as an author, with how she can put together a book. It's so easy for my brain, so simple, but also there are quotes in there that make you go, wow, that is beautiful. That's what I do love about her qualities of her writing. And I do love the characters in this as individuals, as well as also the side characters. I think there's a lot of side characters in here which are underrated, and I'm hoping we will get more from, obviously, within later books. Again, we have that small town feeling, cozy vibe that we get from the Chestnut Springs series. I can feel it in here. But as much as I did like a lot of the aspects in this book, there were a lot of things I did not like, and that is where I've rated this 2.5 stars. And my reasoning for that, as much as it pains me, her doing an entire series of single dads, I know there's a few people who've said that they don't like that. I'm not too bothered by the single dad series. Like, I love her single dad romances, so that's why I was like, oh,
perfect. Like, if you know how to write a single dad romance. However, this didn't feel like a single dad romance to me. This felt like a child coming into the single dad's, well, minor spoilers for this part, just minor. There is a child who comes into Ford's life, and she has had her parent pass away, and one of them is now in a very unhealthy mental state and can't look after themselves, let alone look after a child. So she seeks out her donor, like her parents' donor, to try and get help. And she obviously knows that he's now a billionaire, and then she goes there and says, like, help me. And I just think that that scenario is so strange. The relationship in here between Ford and Cora seemed very forced. It didn't seem like a very genuine and authentic relationship between a father and daughter. And I know it's not like that, but I feel like the entire situation was weird. Like, I'm like, that wouldn't happen. Like, I'm surely there would be other family members that she would reach out to, or just in general, like even like service providers. I don't know if maybe that's a me thing. Maybe I'm just thinking in too much into it, but I think that's a bit odd. By the end, I felt like they were, like, Cora was an extra, and rather than someone who was an integral part of the book. It just felt like someone who'd been thrown in to make it a single dad romance. It didn't feel like the single dad, or like there was like more emotional connection to their relationship. Secondly, there were so many moments where Cora was like hanging out with Ford, and Rosie would be looking on as like an outsider of their like new bonding relationship, but she would then start thinking like very inappropriate sexual comments in her head about, like, while she was looking at Ford, like with his daughter, and that rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, and I felt like Ford also using the excuse of the employee-employer relationship, them not being together, ended up just being very repetitive towards the end. One of my mutuals who I then spoke to, who also didn't like this book, we started talking, and she also pointed out to me, which I didn't notice, she had left her previous partner because he didn't believe her. Sorry, this is very, like, at the very start, like, this is not a spoiler at all, but basically has like a bad taste in her mouth about her ex-boyfriend. He didn't quite stand up for her when she said that her boss was doing inappropriate things while he was at work. And then she leaves that relationship, she leaves that job, and then moves to the small town within like the first 2 chapters. Once she's in the small town where she's grown up, she again gets herself into a situation with a boss. So Rach, my mutual, said that from her going in from one bad scenario with her boss to then jumping into a relationship where there is like a power imbalance again was not like the best thing for her without having any time to heal from that scenario. Now that I've thought about it, I was like, so true. Like, she just went from being in a scenario with her boss, now going into another relationship with a man who you've known all your life, and having that power imbalance, especially he's like literally your boss, doesn't sit right with me. One of the other main points was Rosie is in the relationship, as I'd mentioned, with her ex. She was in that relationship and hadn't completely broken up with her partner till like 40-50% into the book. So she was still in a relationship, and like there was no time really for her and Ford to have that, no time to develop their relationship as a couple, completely knowing that you're both single. Like, it was very icky. There were just like a lot of things that I didn't personally like about this book, and that's where the 2.5 stars has come. It really hurts me to say this because she's such a like genuine auto-buy author for me. That is the end of my vlog. I appreciate you all so much, and thank you for watching if you're still here. If you would like to see more of these sort of travel videos, I do have a couple holidays coming up soon, and I can see how many books I read during those weeks as well. I'm going to love you and leave you, and I will see you in my next video.